YouTube, it is I, Sakarma, coming in with another quick battle from Total Brohammer here. A little 1v1 action. I, myself, Sakarma, I'm heading to Lizardmen against Santa Marquez de Baghdad. I don't know if that's like a historical figure or this guy's actual name, but yeah, funky. So yeah, I'm doing a little Lizardmen action against the two kings. And I wanted to show this battle mainly to demonstrate why Tomb Kings are sort of the lizard killers of the current meta. That could all change in May, of course. But right now, Tomb Kings are just absolutely masters of domination. Masters of domination. I don't know what that means, but it's a new term. MODs of when it comes to Lizardmen fighting. Which is funny because Lizardmen were probably, I don't want to say best faction, but definitely one of the best factions before. But with the advent of Tomb Kings, they have sort of fallen off a little bit, only because Tomb Kings are just so good at countering them. And you'll see why in this battle. So what did I bring? I brought skin cohorts. I don't know why they're chevron plugs. I had extra spend. So skin cohorts, a couple temple guard on each flank, I believe. Yeah. So couples. Yeah. So temple guard, skin cohorts, sword spears, another temple guard in the middle, and another skin cohort. So about pretty wide line. I figured I'm gonna try and get around, get to their Ushapi great bows. I brought Krokar with all his goodies. I brought a Scar veteran who I believe has anti-large. He does. So he's there just to support Krokar against constructs. I brought a Basiladon with Vivification Crystal to try and heal up, to make sure I can, stay in the fight. And then a Skink on a Priest on Heavens. I didn't figure I needed to bring him on anything, so, he could just run around. I could have put him in the sky, but save some spend. I just brought Curse the Midnight Wind, Wind Blast, and Harmonic Convergence, right? Yeah, I just want to make sure it's Wind Blast. Yeah, okay. So my opponent here, meanwhile, brought Chariots, which you almost never see. So that was pretty cool. Skeleton Archer Chariots. Some Tomb Guard, which Chevron Silver. I mean, that's crazy. 3650, those are crazy stats. I've never seen that before, but interesting move. Some Sylvan Spearmen, which I would understand. I don't know why you'd want to do that though. Why not just bring halberds? But hey, whatever. This guy maybe knows something I don't. And you have the Kepler Guard, really good unit in the back there. Tomb Scorpion, a Tomb Prince on foot, and a Tomb King on a Necro Sphinx, or War Sphinx rather. So does he have any? What spells does he have? Let's see what spells he's got there. So Tomb Strike, Curse, anything there? No, my will be done. Okay, so no magic. Interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the Tomb Kings. So what you're gonna see in this battle is why Tomb Kings are just so effective at killing lizards. So right away, I start pushing because they have chosen the gods. But the second they see Krokar comes in range, they're gonna start shooting at him, and he just does so much damage. It does so much damage in like one volley. He's down hundreds of health, like almost. What is that? I have to immediately heal him with a Revivification Crystal because he just took so much damage there. That's about what I would say about 1/6, 1/7, and he gets hit again, and he goes down to about a quarter almost. I'm getting healed, so I have to run Krokar out. So right away they're able to zone Krokar out at the beginning of the battle, which is huge. I send this look at him run. Oh, he's so cute. Looks so earnest. Oh, adorable. Yeah, so I send this little raptor to chase off these, this horde of chariots. So I'm trying to get rid of them. I remember when I was afraid the chariots would be OP for Tomb Kings. Little did I know that I also was worried about the constructs, and I was wrong about one and right about the other. So yeah, I send the Source Roger, just get a nice little charge into these Tomb Guard. Why not? They'll be healed up, but whatever. Pardon me. I move these skin cohorts around because they're quite fast. They are going to get smoked by these chariots, unfortunately, and they just, decimated. Over here in the front line, you can see the Chosen of the Gods are just doing what they do, which is just wreck face. And they're just putting these Sword Spears down. They probably shouldn't shooting my Temple Guard, but what can you do? I am able to engage across the front line in pretty favorable engagements. I am trying to, work my way around to try and hit these these great bows, but my opponent's doing a good job of, keeping me pretty much zoned out. I do bring Krokar back into the fight now that he's aiming at something else, and I'm going to try and wreck these chariots as quick as I can, and then deal with the Chosen of the Gods. He brings his Necro Sphinx right into here. The War Sphinx rather, the Tomb King. Oh, look how fucking jacked this guy is, like a gorilla. Oh my god, it's cool looking. Anyway, so it's like a gorilla snake monster. My god, so creative. And then so the doggy's doing his thing, shitting all over my troops. But over here, I'm doing the same thing to him, crushing his front line. The Kepler Guard will not do that great in this matchup. I mean, they'll kill Sword Spears and everything. They'll do well against my infantry, but with Krokar there, it's going to be tough. I am able to push through, and I get some Temple Guard running after these Chosen of the Gods, but of course they're lickety-split fast at 54, and my guys are super slow at 31, so they're never going to catch them, but, it's enough to zone them out at least. Because I'd rather waste a Temple Guard trying to find them than have them fire. And you can see here, this War Sphinx, which is not anti-large, it's a anti-infantry unit, is fighting an anti-large Krokar, and it is kicking his ass. And he's got a Source Guard Veteran here to help. And I believe I have Harmonic Convergence on. Yeah, look at all those. I switched into Pozitzel. Let's do a quick pause real quick. So he has... Okay. So Krokar has... Oh my god, Jesus, look at that novel on him. He's got 668 melee attack. Well, let's see this here. He's got 668 melee attack with 35 bonus versus large. Sorry, weapon strength rather. So we're talking over 700 weapon strength, over 111 at 111 rather melee attack, 67 melee defense, tons of charge bonus, blah blah blah, all this nonsense. Meanwhile, this guy has 30 fewer armor and 26 melee attack down. So he should be being destroyed. But as you can see, and I have the support of the Source Guard Veteran. But as you can see here, clearly, Krokar's getting fucked. I mean, between the Chosen of the Gods and all that, that battle eventually starts swinging in my favor. But this guy is not an anti-large unit. He did pretty well against Krokar. And then, again, with the help of the Chosen of the Gods, the Shabby Great Bows, they're just putting him down. But eventually, it does start to, wear on him between the two fighters. But he did a lot of damage to Krokar, and he was outmatched. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a little ridiculous. This constructs are very, very good for Tomb Kings. That's nothing new, of course. So I get him, but he starts to run away, but I get him squared off over here. Meanwhile, I am charging Skinks into these Ushabti. He probably just, counter-charged back in. I think he will at one point. This he obviously needs to run, and I'm glad it's Chosen the Gods. I mean, the Temple Guards are just slowly plodding through the snow, trying to get him, and they're just going to keep running. Even though they're way faster, it would take a lot of micro to get them to turn around and fight. And you can see he's still in this little pocket here, surrounded by anti-large. Everything in here is anti-large. Every single unit, and meanwhile he's still alive. And he's still doing damage to Krokar. He does have a Tomb Guard support, but I don't know. He's fighting Temple Guard. He's fighting a Source Guard Veteran. He's fighting Source Spears. He's fighting Krokar. It's just amazing how well he was able to perform against such pretty heavy odds stacked against him. He does sort of the light goes out in his eyes, and that's very sad. And he crashes down and crushes some poor Source Guard veterans. But Krokar stands here victorious. But remembering wishing for a time when he was the terror of Warhammer meta, when he was the giant unit that could not be killed. How the tables have turned. Over here, their ability pops and start healing. Our guys over here are still fighting this Tomb Scorpion and this Tomb Guard, and they're obviously going to do well. This is a good fight for them, even though it's a lot of anti-large with the Temple Guards and the Source Spears. But what can you do? He does summon up the Ushabti Great Bows. The Ushabti. They come in, they start doing some damage. Over here, you have the Ushabti Great Bow who've been caught by Skinks, but obviously they don't care. They just beat the shit out of them and then they run away. Over here, we're doing a little Benny Hill thing here. Ugh, come on. No more Facebook. I'll close it. Sorry, guys. Boop. Back. Alright. Over here, we're chasing these guys down at Skink cohorts, and the Temple Guard are going after them. And over here, I've left my Basilicon Revivification Crystal to try and deal with this Tomb Prince. I think he has anti-large. I'm not sure. He does have anti-large, but I mean, this guy's anti-infantry, so it's not going to go well for him. He doesn't have enough armor to really deal with this dude, or enough armor piercing. Hold on, 560. What does he have? Oh, he had something pop earlier. Oh, that's my Basilicon. No, 560. Oh my god, what is doing that? It goes from 560 to 296. I'm so confused what's happening. But yeah, that might just be a glitch. I don't know why that's happening. It was 560, then it was not. Or no, maybe that's Krokar every time I scrolled off. That's why. Problems or mystery solved. Alright, so over here, we're trying to deal with the Tomb Prince. My opponent is trying to regroup his final units. He has the Summon Ushabti who will die eventually, and the Tomb Scorpion, still coming over here. Meanwhile, over here I'm dealing with his Great Bows, making sure they don't come back online. In the forest, we have eventually caught him because the Skinks were able to catch up. Again, I don't know how their speed at 46 was able to catch 54. It doesn't make any sense. That's the way the game is. When you're chasing, you often get, I don't know if you get a speed boost or what, but yeah, when you are chasing units, you tend to catch them, even if there's a significant difference in speed. I don't know if that's a glitch or what, but I've had it happen with Marauder Horsemen against Dragon Princes and all sorts of weird combinations. But yeah, so that's, I'm okay with that as long as they're fighting over there. Meanwhile, I'm coming back, so the final fight, I have Krokar here, I have some Skink cohorts. These units were, all rallied, they're going to come back. Bring these guys back. These are just Skinks, yeah, so not crazy good. But the Temple Guard are here. Source Spear, I'll bring them in. And yeah, Krokar comes in. He's fighting an anti-infantry unit again. And again, he's just not performing very well. You'd think he'd be doing really well against a Tomb Scorpion, but no. He's taking quite a bit of damage, and I think he's rampaged. Oh, he has Curse of Jaff on him from the Tomb Prince right before he died, so that makes him basically uncontrollable. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. They're just doing very, very good damage against him. I don't know. I don't understand how. I'm not able to kill his Tomb Prince here with like 0 health, whatever he's got, 92, he should be crumbling, but still, there he goes, 81, 70, just hanging on by a thread. But yeah, Krokar is actually starting to waver. Even though this is a pretty favorable engagement for him. There's only one anti-large unit in there, and some, and the King of the Hex, they're not bad, but still, and especially with the help of this, Saurus Guard Veteran, you need to be able to do it, but at this point, I handed the god him in the face, and that does enough damage that he's going to start to crumble, and then, all the units will just fall apart. But yeah, so what I really wanted to demonstrate in this battle is that I don't think my opponent necessarily brought the most optimal build to counter Lizards, and it was still a very close battle. I think that Lizards have a very, very tough matchup against the Tomb Kings, as do a lot of factions. I think other than Wood Elves, most factions have trouble with Tomb Kings, because they have those silver shields, so they can ward off a lot of fire, a lot of ranged fire, and then they also have pretty cost-effective infantry with Tomb Guard. Pardon me. They have the Summon Ushapi, which is huge, and then of course the two OP parts of them, which are the combination of Great Bows and Constructs, because the Constructs are just fantastic, especially like the Necro Sphinx and War Sphinx, and as you saw, the War Sphinx performed very, very well for them, and so the Tomb Scorpion. And then, of course, Chosen the God just make it so prohibitive to bring, I don't know, anything of elite value, because they can just wipe it off the map, whether it's Demigryphs or a large unit or Phoenix Guard, doesn't matter. Whatever the unit is, they are good against everything. And then, of course, trying to shut them down is almost impossible, because if you try and use Skirmish Cav to get rid of them, that's not going to work. They'll fuck Skirmish Cav up in a hot moment. And then they're very fast, and they have good combat stats. They're just, they're a unit with no weakness. And a lot of utility, which is, really what you don't want to see in this game. There shouldn't be any unit that has no weakness and is good against everything. That's kind of silly. So yeah, but of course we've talked about this before. But yeah, GG to my opponent, St. Marquez to Baghdad. Yeah, again, I just think that it wasn't the most optimal build, and it was still able to give me a run for my money. Not that mine is necessarily. I don't play Lizardmen that often, but yeah, I've learned since that Temple Guard are generally garbage. I never bring them anymore. You're better off just bringing more Saurus Warriors and Skinks and other dinosaurs. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I brought a decent build. A couple anti-large heroes, a lot of healing. But yeah, it was a very, very close battle despite that. So that's my opinion on the Tomb King Lizardman matchup, and I will see you around the back.